Hey, welcome to this video. Today we're photographing a whole bunch of nothing. Now I was in this place not too long ago. I even had a video about this with a lot of frost and golden light. That was very beautiful. And with these conditions, I thought it might be a good idea to come back here again, because there's a good amount of forest which is right behind you, but also it's coupled with a lot of wide, vast open area. And that was the main reason I've decided to go here today. Now, I was actually expecting to find some more simplistic and minimalistic scenes over here. That's why I've chosen to go for an open area. But this here just feels otherworldly, just because the visibility is quite low. It's not like we have mist or fog, but I don't know, for some reason it's just very low. Now let's talk about my first image. Over there in the distance, there are 3 trees which are very much sticking out of the field and just like emerging from the pure white beneath them. There's a little bit of small like hills in the landscape, gives a little bit of shape and curves. As I've mentioned, the visibility is not that high, so it almost looks like there's a little bit of haze in the way in front of the trees, which just makes it a little bit more elusive, maybe even dreamy. And yeah, I really like the simplicity of just having the landscape. What I also really like about the snow is that there are no tracks, no footprints, no nothing. It's just so pure. There's just almost nothing, and I think that really adds to the image and makes this whole scene work. Now I could just zoom in all the way onto the trees and get kind of like a close-up shot, a portrait of these trees, but I really just want there to be as much negative space in the frame as possible, which means I'm zooming out as far as it goes without including a little bit of the grass which is just in the field in front of me. So let me just have a look. Now, one more thing, and I have no idea if this is going to work, but I really want to try out kind of like a creative shot. But I'm just going to go in on the same frame that I've just shot, zoom in manually, and then I'm just going to slightly defocus it on purpose. Now, my intention with that is to hopefully kind of like give a little bit of the illusion of even more snow interfering the view, or like haze or whatever you want to call it, and kind of give more atmosphere to the shot. No idea if that's gonna work, but I wanted to try and see how that goes. I'm really curious to see how the defocused shot is going to turn out. I think every now and then it can be a good idea to just put a little bit of purposeful imperfections into your image, just because they're going to convey a more authentic feeling. That was just something that spontaneously came to my mind, because I really wanted to try and convey the atmosphere over here. So let me know what you think in the comments. So I just came across this tree over there, and I'm lucky because there's a small hill, so I can shoot it from a little bit of an elevated position, which I think just adds to the image. There's several different reasons why this composition stuck out and why I've decided to shoot it. First of all, I really like the background. Again, there's a lot of empty space, but you can see just like the silhouettes of the tree line and the landscape in between all of the haze in the background. Then there's quite a lot of like grass just growing out of the snow right in front of me, and it just makes my foreground a little bit more appealing, a little bit more interesting visually. So I quite like that, having that in my frame. And then also the tree is not growing on even ground, but there's a slight decline to the right hand side, and yeah, it just again gives a little bit of interest. Because there's a decline to the right, I'm placing the tree a little bit further on the left hand side just to create some harmony. Also in the right hand side of my background there is a group of trees which is a lot closer to me than like the vast landscape, so it's quite more visible and sticking out. Again, to balance it out, tracing the tree a little bit further on the left hand side just to create some harmony in the image, and I think it works quite beautifully. So ISO 100, f5.6. Gives me an exposure time of 1/400 of a second. 2-second timer. And there we go, as simple as that. I think there's a fox somewhere in the field over there. Something is running across the field. Let's have a look. Come on, focus, focus, focus. Come on, focus. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Oh, it's a fox. Oh, there's a fox running across the snow. It's such a beautiful frame. Just a white empty space at the bottom, the fox in the middle, and then some background. It's such a beautiful shot. I mean, these conditions are not bad for wildlife because you can literally see anything moving for hundreds of meters. Yeah, so I'm kind of looking forward to see that image on a computer. So the photography part of me really likes these conditions, but on the other side, the human part of me also craves a little bit of sunlight. However, I don't want to complain because these conditions are great. And again, it's temporary. It will pass, it will change again. And then you can bet that by the end of the summer, I'm going to be craving for snow again. It's just a cycle that never ends. Yeah, so just going to make the best out of it while I have these conditions. Alright, so I just stopped because I spotted the fox again. This over here was where the first encounter was a couple of minutes ago. And then I just spotted him again, like in a very far distance, just right in front of this tree line over here. So, like as I've mentioned, literally hundreds of meters away. And even with the full extension of my telezoom, 300mm, it was just barely visible. So I have no idea if any of these shots even worked, but it was just such a beautiful sight of just having the fox run across this vast open white pure area. And I think he was actually hunting for something because at one point he just jumped over something. I don't think I caught it, but yeah, it was just beautiful to look at. So while I was looking for the fox, I spotted another composition, which I'm not 100% sure. I do quite like it, but not really like convinced. But I do have a feeling, so I'm just gonna take that one. So again, I am photographing a lot of empty space. What I do like about this image is, first of all, the snow. It has a very hard edge, and it's just, again, pure white. So it just creates such a contrasty edge to where the snow transitions to horizon. That's quite interesting. And then at the horizon line, there is a landscape in the distance. It is visible, but again, due to the low visibility, it's just kind of very hazy and it's just like very diffused. But it does make it interesting. It gives some atmosphere to the image. And then I have almost these two tree lines from the left and right side, kind of like conversing into the middle, into this open space, which is kind of like up to the illusion of the viewer. Yeah, so that's basically my thought process behind this image. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. That was actually a lot of fun today. If you're interested, I have a landscape photography course where I teach you everything that you need to know about landscape photography, being out in the field, how to use your camera, post-processing, It's in the description if you're interested in that, or I have presets available. Just give it a look. Apart from that, thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe and write a comment. And then I'll see you in the next one.